Howdy. This video will focus on parent functions. Alright, so what is a parent function? Parent function is the simplest form of a function. Alright, that's pretty much it. There are many types of functions. Watch out. We got constant, linear, quadratic, cubic, absolute value, square root, cube root, exponential, logarithmic, rational, and there's more. The trigonometric parent functions of sine, cosine, and tangent. And there's more of those, but those are the basic ones that we know of, right? Right. Alright, so next. Important things to know. What you should know about parent functions. We got domain, range, and what the graph looks like. That's what you, as a student, need to know. Yeah, buddy. Alright, so, for every single parent function, let's get her done. Alright. Constant. So a constant is f equals a number, right? F of x equals a number. So y equals, let's say y equals 1. Parent function. So y equals 1 would be right there. That's a constant. So that is your parent function of constant functions. Okay, next. Oh, hold on, go back. The domain. Domain would be pretty much there's an arrow there, an arrow here, so it'd be negative infinity to infinity. Range. Oh no, what is it? Range would just be what? 1, because that's all it's touching, is just 1. So range is y equals 1. That's your range. Next, linear and absolute value. F of x equals x. Looks like this. We got our slope of 1 over 1 and our y-intercept of 0, right? So 0 and 1 over 1. And pretty much the domain in integral form, this goes on forever downwards, so we're going to have negative infinity, and goes forever upwards, so we're going to have positive infinity. Done. Your range. Same thing, goes down for forever, so we're going to have negative infinity, and goes up for forever, so we're going to have positive infinity. And remember, it looks like this, and your domain is this, and your range is this. Moving on. We get our f of x equals the absolute value of x. Alright, so this one is linear, sorry. This one is absolute value. Alright, get it done. Alright, so now we got what is our domain of this graph, of this parent function. So we're going to have, let me erase this real quick. Erase already. Okay, domain. We got, so domain deals with the x-axis. Alright, so pretty much vertical line tests, this goes on for forever. So domain, our smallest point for domain will be negative infinity. And then our greatest point, vertical line test, goes on forever, so we're going to have positive infinity. That's our domain of absolute value. Our range for absolute value, the smallest number on y is this 0. So it's going to be including 0, comma, and since it goes forever upwards, we're going to have positive infinity for our range. So our domain for absolute value is negative infinity to infinity, and our range for absolute value is 0 included all the way to infinity. Cool beans. Alright, next. Quadratic and square root. We got f of x equals x squared. That's the parent function of a quadratic function. And that looks just like this. So let's find our domain. Domain. Wait. There, whatever. Okay. Domain. So dealing with x's. So vertical line test. This line goes forever this way. So domain will be negative infinity. All the way to, same thing, infinity. Our range of our quadratic parent function, smallest number on our y-axis is 0. So it's going to include 0, and it's going forever upwards, so we're going to have to infinity. Got it. Next. Our square root parent function, f of x equals the square root of x, looks just like this, okay? So our domain of this, we have the smallest number on our x-axis, so it would be right here, which is 0. So include 0, and then it forever goes right, so it's going to be to infinity and beyond. Alright, now range, we got the smallest number on the y-axis is 0, so include 0. And we got an arrow here that goes forever upwards, so we're going to have to infinity, and I won't say it again. Alright, domain and range of square root parent function. Cubic and cube root. F of x equals x cubed. That's the cubic parent function. So, and this is what the cubic parent function graph looks like. So, domain. Because domain is awesome. Domain, look at our x-axis. It goes forever downwards and to the right. So, it's going to be negative infinity. For the smallest number, our largest number, goes all the way to the right upwards forever. So, it's going to be positive infinity. Then our range for our cubic parent function, so the smallest number, arrow again, so it's going to be forever downwards, forever alone going downwards, so negative infinity, and then forever going upwards, positive infinity. So our domain and range of our cubic parent function, right there, boom, done. Now, our cubic root parent function, f of x equals a cube root of x. Looks just like that. So, our domain, oh, that's too far, that's close to the graph. Domain. Okay, so domain, the leftmost point is an arrow, so that means it goes on for infinity. So we're going to have negative infinity, comma. And our rightmost point of our domain, infinity, so it's going to be positive infinity. So domain of our cubic root parent function is negative infinity to infinity. Now our range, pretty much same thing, arrow going downwards, arrow going upwards, so we got negative infinity to infinity and beyond. Alright, it's getting old already. Moving on, is that it? Yeah, okay, domain, range, and graph. Exponential, logarithmic, and rational. Yeah, buddy, let's get these ones done. Alright, so f of x equals constant raised to the x is our exponential function. So our domain of this, so D, is, let's see, there's an arrow going forever to the left. Going forever to the, I didn't do that. Going forever to the left is negative infinity, right? Negative infinity. Now, our biggest number x can be, arrow pointing upwards and to the right, so that pretty much means infinity for our domain. So our domain of our exponential parent function is negative infinity to infinity. Now our range of our exponential parent function, let's look at the smallest number y can be, I'm sorry. Range is y. So y, we have an arrow pointing directly to the left. And it looks like it's a horizontal asymptote, guys. So that means range will have a 0. Now asymptote you can never touch, so it will not include 0. So 0, comma, and then we have an arrow pointing all the way upwards, pretty much, so that will be 0 to infinity for our range of our exponential function. So next we have a logarithmic function, and let me erase this since it's going to get in the way every time. The graph of our logarithmic function looks like this. Alright guys, so our domain of this function, of this graph, so let's deal with x first. So the smallest number x can be, looks like we have a vertical asymptote, which we do. So if you can't touch our asymptote, we're going to have 0 not included, so parentheses, comma. Our biggest number x can be, we have an arrow pointing directly to the right, so that will mean goes on forever, infinity. And our range of our logarithmic parent function is, drumroll, goes forever downwards, so negative infinity, all the way to, we have an arrow going to the right upwards, so positive infinity. Alright. Positive infinity. Alright, so next Let me erase this range. Hold on, I won't erase it yet. So this is the domain and the range of our logarithmic parent function, and this is the graph. Okay, just thought I'd say that again. Let me erase this right quick. Next, our rational parent function looks like this. Alright. So our domain of our rational parent function is so the furthermost, the left point, we have an arrow pointing upwards, but I can tell you this is going to be a vertical asymptote, so we're going to have 0 not included, comma, and then we have an arrow pointing directly to the right, so our domain can be infinity. Our range of our rational parent function, we have what's our largest number y can be. I'm sorry, the smallest first. So the smallest, we have this arrow here, but I can tell you this is a asymptote, horizontal asymptote. So range, our y, cannot equal 0, but it gets very close. So 0 not included, comma, and then this arrow here goes forever upwards. So that would mean forever upwards, obviously, and that's infinity. Okay, so there you have it, domain and range of rational functions. And ladies and gentlemen, that is parent functions. Went through it really quick because it was more of an informational, not really teaching you how to find it because you already know how to find domain and range, but these are our parent functions. Bada bing, bada boom. Got it. Cool beans. Alright. Peace out. Adios. See y'all in class. Bye.